Hey Stampers, it's Debbie with Stamp It with Debbie, and we're at week 8 of our 8 weeks of Halloween, where I've been sharing a treat holder or Halloween project every single week for you. If you missed some of the other ones, I will put a link in the description below for you to click on that to find last week's, and then last week should also have a link for the previous week. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss out on a project. I will be starting 12 weeks of Halloween very shortly. Today we're going to be creating this fun treat, and inside is a lollipop that kind of reminded me of a witch or a monster finger, and so I thought it was very appropriate to put the broom and the cat on the outside of it. I did get these at Dollar Tree in case you're trying to find them as well. We're going to be using Cauldron Bubble stamp set from Stampin' Up. It's brand new in the holiday catalog, along with the Cauldron framelits. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to create this treat. The first thing I want to do is tell you the items that you need. You're going to need a piece of cardstock, and this is cut at 7 inches by 2.5 inches. You need a piece of designer paper cut at 5.5 inches by 4.5 inches, and a piece of Whisper White cardstock cut at half an inch by 2.5 inches. And we do need to do a little scoring, so I'm going to grab my scoreboard. And on the piece that's going to be the actual box, you're going to need to score at 3/4 of an inch all the way around. And it's going to seem like you're scoring away all of your box, but it leaves plenty of room inside. Probably a chapstick would fit in there, or other small treats. I didn't try it out, but probably Hershey Kisses would line up inside of there. We also need to score this piece of designer paper, and we need to make sure and score on the 4.5 inch side, not the 5.5. The other thing I want to warn you about is if you have a patterned paper that it matters if it's up or down, you want to make sure that your pattern is going the right way. So your pattern would need to be up and down on the 5-inch side, because it wraps around this way. So you would want to make sure. This one, it doesn't matter because there are just stars everywhere, but this is a good one. So if I had cut it this way, my bats would all be upside down, which probably wouldn't be a huge deal, but some papers are a little more picky than others. So on your 4.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1 inch. And also another thing while we're scoring, on designer paper, you don't want to push super hard because you will rip through. The designer paper is a little thinner than the cardstock. So again, 1 inch, 1 3/4 inches, 2 3/4 inches, and 3 1/2. And then we're all done scoring. So I'll put my scoreboard away here. And then we're going to need a pair of paper snips. And on these boxes at the end, we're just going to cut up these edges here. And I always like to cut to the inside of the score line, and then just cut a little triangle out. That will help the box go together a little better. And then we need to turn and do it on the other side as well. And then no cutting on that one, so we're going to just get our bone folder and make sure that all of our score lines have a good crease in them. And then on the designer paper, we don't want to crease real hard again because we'll rip through the paper, but we do want to make sure we have a good fold, so we'll just lightly run the bone folder over all of those creases. And then you do want a strong adhesive because you're creating a box. So I'm going to use Tombow multi-purpose liquid adhesive. This is the Tombow. I just put it in a different container because it has a smaller tip to it, and I like the way it adheres out of that tip. So you're just going to bring the small tab to the inside. And then with the Tombow, you do need to hold it just for a second here to make sure that it's going to hold well before we start in on the other side. So again, we're going to put adhesive on these two inside tabs. And then fold them to the inside of that larger tab that's there. And then we'll just hold it for a second to make sure that it's adhered very well. And then we're gonna work with this piece. Now we're going to actually wrap this around as we put it together, but I just want to show you real quick. The center of the box is this part here, and you're going to want to put adhesive on this back edge here. So again, I'm going to use a strong adhesive. This time I'm going to use some of the Terran tape because I think it'll be a little bit easier than trying to make it work with the liquid adhesive. And I'm actually going to put mine together. I'm gonna put it right on there. So this is the opening of the box. We're gonna put that center here, wrap it around, and you don't want to squeeze it too tight or they won't be able to open the box. So just kind of loosely put it around. That's a little bit of adhesive I should have tucked under, but I'll get that in a minute. Okay, so now our box is complete and the box will slide in and out. And let's just go ahead and put our lollipop right inside, and we can work on the rest of it. On our piece of Whisper White here, we are going to need our stamp, and we want the Happy Halloween, and we also need the broom. And for that, we just need a piece of scrap white paper. And I'm going to use soft suede to actually stamp my broom. And then it looks like I forgot to bring my black ink, so I'm going to stamp the Happy Halloween in soft suede today. And there we go. I'm done with the stamping. I'm going to real quick just cut a banner out of the end here. So this piece is all done. And then we'll need to run a few pieces through the Big Shot. So let me grab that. We want to cut the broom out, and we also want to cut one of these cats, and this is from the Designer Series paper, and the framelits have something to cut the witch. It has this really cute cobweb. It has something to cut the ghost, the cauldron. Today I'm just going to use the broom and the cat. And so we'll line that up. And line up the cat here. Carefully put our clear plate over the top so we don't move the thinlits at all. And we'll run it through the Big Shot. Then those pieces are all cut out, so I'll move the Big Shot out of the way. And here are the pieces all completed. I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends markers. I don't need to color the cat, although the stamp set does have a cat in it as well, so you could color the cat and then cut it out, but I chose to just cut out of the designer paper. So I'm going to color the handle of the broom in dark chrome cake. Oops. And I'm also going to color the two little things that hold the broom together. There's probably a name for those, but I'm not sure what it is. And then I'm going to use light Mango Melody for the broom. And that's all finished. So now we're ready to assemble. We're going to use some of the glittered organdy ribbon. And we're just going to tie a bow around the box here. And then we'll be able to adhere the other pieces on as well. Get that adjusted just a little bit more. All right, I'm going to use my snips to just cut the end off just a little bit. And then I'm going to use dimensionals for the Happy Halloween. So I'll just put a couple dimensionals on there. Tuck that up underneath the bow. And you want it high enough so that you still have room for the broom. The broom I'm actually going to put on with some of the multi-purpose adhesive. And then the cat, I'm going to use some of the mini dimensionals because he's pretty small. You could use the regular size and cut them in half, but these are the perfect size. And put him right there on the broom. And there you have it. 2 fun Halloween treats for you to give out this holiday season for Halloween. Spooky for trick-or-treaters or neighbors or maybe a coworker. If you liked the video, if you would hit subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. And come and visit my Facebook page at Stamp It with Debbie. And I hope that you enjoyed the video and you'll stop back again soon.